Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. It is the biggest question within the Bayern Munich fan base. Lucas Hernandez, Spanish dominance. But George, Lucas Hernandez is French. I know, but he's Spanish in my eyes. We need more Spanish players. Please, no more French players. We need more Spanish players. Versus Austrian, Nigerian, Asian. Didn't know it was Asian until a few days ago. Asian dominance. Who's gonna win? Well, we don't know. That's what we're here to find out. But seriously, hello everyone. Welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. I want to do more of these debates. If you want to join in on a future potential debate, hit the link in the description. It'll take you to like a form thing. You fill it out, and if all the things apply that I want, then we go. Okay. This is a serious topic though, because everyone wants to know this. Now, personally, I'm just going to sit in between because I don't really care who wins this. I don't care who's the better player. I'm just here to be the presenter. I'm feeling like Steve Harvey. I need some good answers from you, but comment down below. Who's better between Lucas Hernandez and David Alaba? I really want to know that from your perspectives, and of course explain yourself. Now, both players are incredibly different. Lucas Hernandez coming in from Atletico Madrid, 70 million at the time. Of course, I was excited. Yeah! We finally spent more than 2 million on a player. Yeah! Nah, but seriously, I felt a little bit excited because of that. But I knew this in my head that Lucas would be one of the most dominant center backs in the world. I believe he is. Right now, if you play Lucas Hernandez as center back, he's one of those defenders that just enjoys defending to an extreme amount. This guy jacks off to clean sheets. You don't know what he does at night. I don't know what he does at night, but I know for sure he jacks off to clean sheets. He really understands the fundamentals of defending. He loves to get into tackles. He enjoys it and puts his heart into everything. He described himself as a warrior, and I agree with that. You know what? Rest in peace to him, but Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther. Evacuate the city. Engage all defenses. Well, Lucas Hernandez was the defender he was talking about. And get this man a shield, and that was Lucas Hernandez. I'm serious though. I think everyone understands his qualities. Flick understands his qualities. He's a very, very dominant center back. I mean, he comes off the pitch and he won the most duels on the pitch. And I'm like, how did you get in this many duels? Well, it's because of his style of play. He doesn't really just sit back and watch. And that's something I like in center backs. Center backs don't sit back and watch. The thing with Van Dijk, for example, is that he does both. He sometimes sits back and watches the game come to him, but Lucas Hernandez attacks the ball. To me, it looks like Lucas Hernandez is just trying to emulate what Sergio Ramos did. I can see the resemblance. I can honestly see it. And I love how when he tackles someone, and that person maybe was a mistimed challenge, Lucas Hernandez will go down on the floor and act like he got tackled. It's incredible. I really like him because of that. I think we needed that sort of just BS mentality. Atletico Madrid do it to all their players. They, like, you see him diving around, trying to get an extra penalty, a foul, I don't know. But Lucas Hernandez is definitely the most natural defender we have in that team. Nicolas Jula, alongside him, of course. Jula is the greatest defender of all time. But Lucas Hernandez definitely has that about his game. I think his recovery pace is his biggest asset. Now, one thing about his game is that it's very dependent on him getting it right? He's going to go into a challenge and hopes he gets it right. And the majority of the times, maybe 60-something% of the times, or 70-something%, he wins a lot of his duels, especially the ground duels. He always wins those little challenges. But the thing is, if he fails to win those challenges, he's able to then go back and recover because of that recovery pace he has. And that's something that you have to have in a center back these days. Football is a more pressing game, which means faster attackers, faster midfielders, and better passers through pressure. So Lucas Hernandez having that recovery pace, you saw it against Haaland. Haaland got in between our center backs. Lucas Hernandez made that tackle. It was a great tackle. He got a yellow card for it. The referee's last game, she just wanted to piss me off one last time. But basically, that's the type of tackle and the type of challenge that Lucas Hernandez is able to do with that recovery pace. You see this clip. It's against Cristiano Ronaldo. Yo, cut it out, man. Cut it out. What did I tell you about? Stupid. Why'd you have to zoom in? Nah, but seriously, it's against Cristiano Ronaldo, okay? That's an amazing tackle. It's a brilliant tackle. And it just epitomizes that recovery pace he has. So that's something exceptional about it. Attacking the ball. Now, I love these types of center backs. I feel like Patrice Evra. I love these games. Nah, seriously, I do. Because center backs that attack the ball. I'm not really a fan of conservative defending. As a defender, I played center backs maybe once or twice, right, in actual games. I'm a midfielder, but I can actually fill in at center back with my ball playing capabilities. I describe myself as a Thiago Alcantara, Paul Pogba center back. It's a very weird combination. But as a center back, I like attacking the ball, reading the game, and just getting closer to the strikers. Because sometimes what I see some defenders do, they back off, and then there's all this space, and it means that attackers get the ball without any pressure on them. And our system's very good for that because Lucas Hernandez is actually decent when it comes to attacking the ball and just getting in front of his marker sometimes and just intercepting. So his reading of the game and his ability to attack the ball is definitely something that I see as a positive. Hold down pacey attackers. It's weird because all these traits are his defensive traits. Well, he is actually a very exceptional passer, but I wouldn't put that, because that's not his game. His game isn't breaking the lines with passes every 2 seconds. That's not his game. His game is defending and making sure he keeps a clean sheet. So that's why I'm using his traits, because Alaba and Lucas are completely different. Lucas is a natural defender. He wants to defend. He enjoys it. He jacks off the clean sheet. And David Alaba would rather get an assist than a clean sheet. And that's the difference. Unfortunately for us, we have both. So if we had a different type of game, like Atletico Madrid, everyone wants Lucas to play in that. But I actually think we should play Alaba. Not because of his great defensive ability, but because of his ability to break the lines. And Atletico Madrid are fantastic at keeping their lines closed. So, yeah, hold down pacey attackers. Lucas Hernandez is fast. And one thing with pacey attackers like Kylian Mbappe, they don't stay in one place, right? You don't see Mbappe standing in one place because he's fast. He wants to get into different areas because he trusts his pace to be able to take anyone on. But Lucas Hernandez, look what he did to Cristiano Ronaldo with the block shots and with the nice tackle on Ronaldo. He's able to close down and hold down pacey attackers. And that's something that we need. Aerial prowess, Lucas is only 6 foot. It's crazy, but he's actually surprisingly a lot better in the air than his height suggests. He's better between the 6 foot plus center backs. Strikers. He's actually very good in the air. And his ability to just read how the ball's going, the flight of the ball, and intercept it. I've seen him do this a lot, but he just kind of waits, ball comes in, and then he heads it out. He loves it. So he's good in the air. He reads the game situations, and he understands how the ball is and where it's going to go. He's able to then intercept. Whew! That's about Lucas Hernandez. Now, we move on to Alaba, right? I'm not picking a favorite, like I said. This is up to you in the comments. This is up to everyone watching this. Alaba's completely different. Last season, look, we have to exclude this season because we know Alaba's playing with that contract in his head. I don't think people understand how psychological football really is. Things can really play you down. Things can let you down. You know what? Alaba makes one mistake thinking about this contract thing, and you might be like, well, he's not a football agent. He should just focus on his football to get better and play for his team. Sometimes these outside factors affect you. And I understand why he's playing bad. I understand that. Players play bad all the time. Things could really affect you. Ian Robben got injured a lot. You don't think that mentally affected him? You don't think, you know what? I thought Robben could have maybe been more consistent. But his injuries, maybe that affected him sometimes. And I think that's something that you have to look at with players all the time. And Robben's my favorite player. He's the reason I support Bayern. But things like that could affect you. Coman, for example, he pulls out of challenges because he knows he could get injured, just to then get injured anyways. But it's that psychological game in your head. It's not necessarily realistic, but it is there. So Alaba's definitely getting affected by the contract situation, the dilemma within the club. I think he's definitely remembering, oh my goodness, Blackenbauer, but they won't give me 20 billion a year. I do understand that his wage demands are ludicrous, but we have to separate Alaba now from Alaba last season. Last season, maybe just a UCL campaign, but the rest of last season, Alaba was one of the best center backs in the world. I think there was a certain point where only Upamecano was close to in terms of ball recoveries. I might be wrong on that, but Alaba had an unplayable characteristic about him. I remember the assist for Coutinho's goal, where he wrapped the ball around the whole stadium. I don't know if it was him, was it Augsburg? And he did that crazy pass. Well, Alaba was exceptional last season. And if you watch the Chelsea game in the round of 16, second leg at the Allianz Arena, Lewandowski gets a penalty, I think, within the first 20 minutes. Just watch Alaba. He's basically telling Lewandowski where to be. His reading and his understanding of the game is very crucial to how we play. And I always said that. But right now, I understand why everyone's saying, Lucas, Lucas, Lucas. But you have to understand, when Alaba's fit, he's exceptional. He's world class. He has world class ability. His passing in between the lines, and that's why some of his traits are just attacking traits, like dominate possession, move the ball quick between the lines, progress the ball, because that's his game. His game is to do that. Lucas's game is to be a defender. Alaba's game is to be an attacker, a libero, a modern libero. The thing with Alaba is, people think he's crap defensively. I remember so many situations where maybe Davies would be out of position. Alaba would just kick it out for a throw-in. I don't think that would count as an interception. I don't think it would count as like a tackle. But these things just happened all over the pitch a lot of the times. That would mean that we wouldn't see that Davies was out of position or something. We just see that Alaba was exceptional. He's a leader at the back. He's a real leader. And center back is a position where you have to be a leader. I think it's forcing that characteristic in him. Because there was a point in time where people were like, Alaba should be our captain. There was. Don't forget that time. Now, of course, his contract issues, of course, everyone's going to get clouded with their judgment. But that's normal. That's life. We're all reactionary inside. I watch a Bayern game, and I'm seeing myself go, oh my goodness, getting a heart attack over nothing. Because we're all reactionary. So, yeah, I hope the reactionary thing doesn't affect how you see Alaba as a player. Because we're making him out to be like Harry Maguire or Phil Jones when he's one of the best players in his position in the world when he's playing well. And of course, that's not often these days we see that. So yeah, his ability to press opposition markers is something I really like about his game. He doesn't necessarily attack the ball like a real center back and dominates these defensive scenarios. What he would rather do is just run in, put out a fire before it starts. And you have to understand that. That's his game. He's not a big, tall, big man. And unlike Lucas, he won't go in and be strong and command an area. He's not that strong physically. You can tell he's lacking in that aspect of his game. But you can see how intelligent he is. He just comes in. Watch how he pocketed Sancho. He just get in front and just shoot and just clear the ball. Easy defending. And defending is very easy, but sometimes people complicate it. Alaba made so many crucial interceptions where, I don't know, I think he's exceptional. So for me, that's a big aspect of his game. Move the ball. Again, move the ball between the lines. Moving the ball between the lines is pretty much a principle of Hansi Flick's system. The amount of players we have in between the lines is ludicrous. And what Alaba does so well is he just makes these weird passes. Now, usually people think passing between the lines means you just make the straight pass. It's like you're literally breaking 3 lines of pressure. A striker, a cam, or 2 lines of pressure. Atletico will play with 2 lines of pressure ahead of Alaba, right? And if we break the first 2, it's easier to break the 3rd one. And that's the real back line. But if you're breaking that line between Saul and these players, why am I using Atletico? But if you break the lines, you pretty much get to a situation where it's almost like a 4v4 or sometimes even a 5v4. If Goretzka's high up, all of a sudden he's picking up the ball in these pockets and he's able to create. Gnabry's there, Sané's there. Breaking the lines in football is the most important thing. You can get stuck in the dreaded thing of moving the ball side to side, and that's what people complained about under Kovac. We would move the ball side to side, but then you never really saw any real penetration into the final third. And what Alaba does, he stands right there in that circle. Let me look at in that circle right there. He stands right there in that circle, and he's able to break the lines. And that's a big skill to have, and that vision is important. His passing, obviously, world class. I mean, I don't see many center backs able to move the ball from one side of the pitch or to the other side of the pitch with that vision and that just, I guess, I don't know, composure. Progress the ball, and that's why everyone calls him Black and Bauer. But he is very exceptional at progressing the ball. Out of center back, no, I think this was in general. I have a stat on my phone. This was when Alaba wasn't playing like crap. I needed to push the propaganda that he was one of the best in the world. But for progressing the ball, he topped every single center back, and I think most midfielders. He was up there by himself at some point. He legitimately was unplayable. And that's something that you don't have in many modern day center backs. That ability to progress the ball, almost like a left back Surprise, surprise, Alaba's played as a left back and sometimes as a midfielder. And sometimes Alaba would go into the midfield positions. That would mean Kimmich or Thiago would push a little bit higher in between the lines. And then that would create space. That's important. Sometimes he'd go to the left back position because we create a back three in the build-up. He'd push forward, get Davies inside, and then he'd get the ball, cross or try something. I don't know. But he's very exceptional with that. Now, that's it. I'm not talking about any of them anymore. The question's now up to you. Would you rather have a real natural defender? Because with Alaba, I think we score 15% more goals. That's, you know, it's not a coincidence that we're not scoring 8 goals per game. And Alaba's not playing that well. Well, actually, we did score 8 versus Schalke and he wasn't there. But you know what I mean. You get my point. I think Wenger pulled up a stat that Arsene Wenger, the one that said Bayern were kind of overrated? Well, that one, yes. He pulled up a stat saying without Alaba, Bayern don't score as many goals. And that was incredible to me. That showed me his importance. It just confirmed something that I believed in him. And now, so would you rather have a center back that's defensive, big rock at the back like Lucas, or would you rather have Alaba with the risk that he's not as good defensively, but he is unplayable offensive-wise? Is that what you want? And then everyone's going to say, well, defenders need to defend first. That's not modern football, let's be honest. Liverpool play with 2 non-defenders. I mean, everyone likes to tell me Robertson's so great defensively when most of Liverpool's losses have come from the opposition exploiting Robertson. Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's not a defender. So would you rather have an attacker, a fullback, a left? I don't know. Whatever it is, let me know. Take all the emotions out just between the 2 players. But thank you everyone so much for watching. Mia San Mia and peace.